Welcome to the Emporium Outdoors. My name is Michael, and today is the first snow day and our first hot tent camping adventure. Welcome to the channel, everyone. As you can see, we've got a fair amount of snow. The temperature is about -2 degrees Celsius, and we're going to be heading out in the Polaris Ranger Midsize. This is the Northstar with the cab, and I'm very grateful for that today. So we've got a few things to do. We've got to get some wood, set up the tent, get everything ready for the night, and it's going to be excellent. We've got some food to cook over the stove tonight, and I'm very much looking forward to it. This is the 2025 Polaris Ranger Midsize 570 Northstar. So this does have the cab, has the heat inside, and it's very welcome today. We do have a wiper on the front as well, which is going to help. And we have some pretty decent tyres that are stock that should get us through this snow. The snow is probably getting up to, I don't know, a couple of inches so far. Time is around 12 o'clock, so we've got a bit of time to set things up. So it's also grouse season, so we do have a tool with us so we can take a grouse or two if we come across one. But I'm not hopeful. The grouse tend to stay well in the bush when it's snowy like this, and they love the sunshine, love coming out when it's nice and warm. They come out to the roads. So we'll just have to see what happens. We've got a fair ways to go today, so let's get going. I've been wearing this Sitka Mountain Optics binocular harness for a few trips now, and I really like it, especially in the UTV. I don't think there's a more convenient way to carry things you need to get to quickly. In my case, it's camera equipment, but you could easily put binoculars in, exactly what it's designed for. So we are about halfway through our journey to our camping spot. So far it's gone pretty good. I just had a warning on my phone to tell me that there's going to be flurries in this area. Nothing yet, it's just light snow. It's a really nice area. We camped here, actually with Esme's last camp, bless her heart. So I just wanted to come back through here and just kind of think about that. But we are going to be heading down this trail to our campground. It's going to be interesting to see how the trail is. Shouldn't be too bad, but it's not cold enough for the ground to be frozen. And the snow just really doesn't help, but it doesn't really hinder too much. The little Polaris is doing good. It's getting pretty packed in the front with snow, as you'd expect. I did have some bad luck, and I did crack the screen. I actually started down here. There was a couple of stone chips. I don't know how that happened because I always travel with a cover on, and then I literally watch it kind of expand. So I've actually put in some Rain-X fix. It's like an epoxy, so I don't actually feel crack anymore. And I did put a little stop drill, filled that in. We'll see if that works or not, but these screens in Canada are about $1,200, so not cheap, but it is kind of low when it's out of the way, so could have been so much worse. I am getting a bit of water from the front here. Just wondering why. That little lip not sealing as good. There's some tape. Well, that's from. So yeah, but apart from that, it's nice and warm. I find the so we do have vents on the top, one on each side, and the side vents. I've got the floor vents closed at the moment, but I don't know if there's enough flow to keep the main windscreen and the side windows kind of defrosted or demisted. But it's comfortable in the cab. It's pretty good. So the heater is not as good as my Can-Am Defender that I had, the HD10, but it's a different machine for sure. It's a more expensive machine, the Can-Am Defender, and it's wider, bigger engine, more heat. So that was really good. You could literally wear a t-shirt inside at -25. This one's comfortable. Like I say, the heat that comes out of the vents is very good, but you had to kind of balance them to make sure there's enough air coming through different places, just to make sure that it defrosts fully or demists. So let's keep going down the trail. As you can see from the footage, my drone decided to merge with a tree unexpectedly. It didn't go too far, and I put the drone in recovery mode, which makes it beep so you can come and find it again. So it wasn't too bad, it wasn't damaged thankfully, but a little disappointing that it did that. So we've arrived at our little camp spot. I want to say about 3 to 4 inches of snow on the ground. And it's beautiful. Let me show you around. If you like the video so far, please hit that like button and also consider hitting the subscribe button. It really does help me out. I appreciate it. Today I'm using the Polomy Locomotive 2 chimney tent. This is a tent I purchased myself, so it's not a sponsored spot or anything like that, so I give you an honest opinion. I have used this in pretty much blizzard conditions, and it's a pretty decent tent. I'm not a huge fan of the teepee style tents. They can be a real pain to set up. However, this is also a bit of a pain to set up, if I'm honest. The poles that go through the inside are very, very tight. And it took me a bit of a time to actually get them through and locked in place. I do recall I shortened one of the poles, and I'm probably going to have to do that with the other ones as well. It's probably fine for warmer conditions because you've got a bit more stretch to the fabric, but when the temperature drops, and we're only at somewhere around -3, 4, something like that, then it becomes very fiddly and difficult to do, which is the last thing you want to do with a winter camping tent. The other downside to this tent is it doesn't have a snow skirt, but I do like generally tunnel tents. They're extremely stable and they're great for mountain use. They shed the wind really well and they give you a big vestibule inside where you can actually put gear, etc. It is a great tent, but you just need to have some finesse with it. And if you don't mind the not having snow skirts, this might be a nice lightweight camping tent for you. So inside there's plenty of room for 2 people and winter camping gear if you're backpacking, for instance. And obviously the stove jack is a big plus. So now you can heat the tent and really enjoy that winter camping trip. Lots of pockets, lots of space, and overall it's laid out really, really well. I don't have any proof, but I suspect that a lot of these tent manufacturers don't add snow skirts to these tents because they're afraid of you being able to seal in the tent too much and not have ventilation when you have a wood stove inside. So I think they just don't add them. You can pile snow up around the outside, but of course if you're running a hot tent, make sure you open the vents and allow the air to come in. With a canvas tent, for instance, that's not necessarily such a big thing because a natural fiber tent will breathe, whereas man-made fibers don't. My favorite tent to camp in is a canvas tent and it just excels in very cold conditions. However, they're heavier, etc. and bulkier, and for lightweight camping, this is a good alternative. And today I'm pairing this tent with my Danshell Outdoors titanium folding stove, which is a wonder to behold. It's very lightweight, puts out great heat, and it's not too tricky to put together. Comes with a very long stovepipe, which is awesome. It's a little bit tall for this tent, but for a teepee tent, that's why it's so long, so you can use it for both. But I've had no problems with this at all, and it really does put out quite a bit of heat. Unfortunately on this trip I forgot my gloves, so I'm putting the pipe together with bare hands. I wouldn't recommend that. It is kind of sharp on the edges, but if you're careful you can do it. Plus your hands get filthy with all the carbon and stuff, etc. So I'll have to remember not to leave my gloves behind. Because of the construction of the stove, the connection from the stovepipe to the stove is a little bit weak because of the thin titanium, and I don't really trust it. I always tied down this particular stove with 3 tie downs, which is not too bad to do, but I wouldn't want this to come unconnected during the night. So the chimney's all up. It's a bit of a faff with these lightweight setups. Tent takes way longer than you expect. But if you are backpacking and you need something portable, then this is probably a good way to go. It's got enough space for 2. It's a tunnel tent, so that means it's very good in winds if you pitch it correctly. I do have the footprint. So this is a heat-proof layer. It covers the whole of the floor. And then in the sleeping area. And there's another door on this side, which I like, because I hate having to climb out through just one hole when you're camping with somebody else. These doors can actually pitch straight out as well to keep the snow off if you have some poles. And that's the little Danshell titanium fold stove, which I like very much. But I've got gloves and now my hands are filthy. Oh well. Okay, well I'll put my sleeping mat in and the sleeping bag, and you've all seen that before. This is by far one of my favourite axes. This is the Wetterling's Bushman's axe, or the Les Stroud axe. Unfortunately they don't make it anymore, but it's a perfect balance of being practical but yet being reasonably good at splitting. It's an incredible all-round axe and I highly recommend it if you can buy one on the second-hand market. Well, we've got the fire going. It's actually heating up quite nicely. Also got the smaller fire outside. And we're going to put some steaks on there. Actually, I think it's just pork. I don't think they're beef steaks or anything. But that's such a wonderful sight to have the stove running. Actually works really well. It's surprisingly good. It is a smaller tent, obviously. Yeah, it's kind of sitting up room only, so not great. So this is why it's more of a backpacking tent than you would want for something like proper winter camping, because you really don't have any room apart from climb in and go to sleep, maybe cook on the fire out here in the porch. But it's not really somewhere you can stay out of the snow and kind of dry your clothes, etc., which you will want to do typically when you're winter camping. But if you're hiking, or you're on a super lightweight setup, you got a polk, so you pull all your stuff with you. This is a great setup. The Dan Shell titanium stove works really well. I've actually been very, very happy with it. And the tent itself, this Polomy tent, is good. Like I say, it's not what I would consider kind of real winter camping stuff. It doesn't have a snow skirt. Like I say, it's great if you're just going out for a few days, and especially if you're going up into kind of mountainous area and weight counts. This is the compromise. So it's a compact tent, not much room, but it works. So we're all set up for the evening. I have the stove going already. I got plenty of wood. I'm not going to run the stove all night because I do have a big sleeping bag. Temperature tonight is going to go down to about -7°C. So not super cold. It's going to be a bit chilly in the morning. So I'll have a morning bundle ready so I can actually warm the tent up. And the good thing about this type of tent is I can pack everything up inside and then move it out. Makes it a bit easier. Got my other little wood stove here at the side of me, and that's burning down at the moment. I'm going to cook on that. I could cook on the inside stove here. I have a little frying pan, but I just like to separate the food from inside to outside. The bears are actually still around at the moment. It's still the first snow, so they're kind of thinking about hibernating, but they're not doing it yet. So I want to be camp safe. So I normally cook on this fire, and then I heat everything up so it burns away any bones or anything that I leave. I leave it in the fire there, and that cleans it up. Same with the rack as well, just burn all that off, and I've never had a problem. Normally I keep it a little bit further away from camp, but this is somewhat close. For safety, I always carry a tool with me, so I am bear safe if anything does come along. But again, after like 12 years of camping out here, I've seen lots of bears and they've left me well alone, and I leave them well alone, which is a good thing. We have an understanding. So I just want to say thank you to all the people that left beautiful comments on my channel regarding Esme and her moving on, taking a trip over the Rainbow Bridge. Has helped a lot. It's almost 2 weeks now, I think. We're coming up to 2-week mark where unfortunately Esme passed away. It's a little bit odd not having her around, especially at home, because I'm used to seeing her in certain places, but she's not there obviously. However, it's been really nice to read and respond to all the comments, which I've actually caught up finally. And to see all the long-term viewers of the channel and subscribers, leave comments. That was beautiful, as well as a few other kind of special people that I know from the channel too left very nice comments. So time will make things easier, and it's getting easier. So Esme, if you're watching, I hope they have YouTube in heaven. I hope you're a subscriber at least, but I miss you, and I miss you. Let's take a look. Yep, it's pretty much cooked. Pretty good. I do like that little bit of spice on there. So that's what we have for dinner this evening. Pretty good. Still quite juicy. Nice to see it on the outsides, and just the right amount of spice. Okay, so I'm going to finish my dinner and tidy up a few things. Then I might take a walk, I think. Well, good morning. We had a very good night. It was actually pretty cold last night. I'm not sure what the temperature actually went down to, but it was cold. Just put on the morning bundle, which I kept nice and warm behind the stove. So we should be warming up pretty soon. Then we'll get some breakfast, a cup of coffee, and then we'll pack up. So this morning we just have a fried bologna sandwich. I really like bologna. It's not a thing we have in England. Never actually come across it before I came here, but I really like it. I'm not quite sure what it's made of. So one of the key benefits of hot tent camping is actually having something warm in the morning, because I've camped pretty cold, maybe down to -30 Celsius, without obviously having a hot tent, just camping out. And it's pretty brutal in the morning, I'll tell you. But having a nice warm stove, being able to cook, get some coffee without having to start a fire and all the rest of it, makes a huge difference. So I've got my cup of coffee, I've packed up my sleeping bag and my roll mat. Just got a few more things to put in the back of the vehicle, take the tent down, and obviously the stove. I think we're good to go. Oh, something nice about having a cup of coffee on a cold morning. So we're all packed up, ready to go. It's going to be a beautiful morning. It's blue skies everywhere. Really looking forward to it. Should be a good drive out. So kind of looking forward to it. That was a nice camp. It was nice to have a warm, hot tent on the first snowy day of this year, 2025. So that was nice. So it's time to hit the road. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Until next time, take care. Well, that's the first winter camp of 2025. Make sure you're a subscriber if you'd like to see more of this type of content. Winter camping is one of my favourite things to do, so there'll be more of this content coming up shortly. So until next time, take care. And as always, thank you very much for watching. If you like my videos, leave me a comment, maybe a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.